respected chairperson of this webinar, our beloved principal, Dr. S.R. Magre sir, the convener of this webinar and the founder president of ELTI Khandesh chapter, Honorable Dr. Vaibhav Sabnis sir, our respected resource persons, Dr. Vitthal Gore sir, Dr. Asha Arab ma'am, teachers, students, participants, colleagues. Welcome to all of you. It is my proud privilege to welcome you all on this national webinar on widening the employability prospects for with skill development. We all know that employability prospects are very essential. We need to develop them, and the employability skills of our young graduates are now highly questionable, and so it's a very challenging task for us, especially the rural and tribal youths, to enhance their employability skills. And it is an attempt by our Department of English and the ELTI Khandesh chapter to provide a platform for them to increase their employability skills. ELTI Khandesh chapter is a very growing, thriving, vibrating, and very energetic chapter. It has organized several webinars, short-term programs, workshops, conferences, and it has tried to reach the unreached sections of society. And I am hopeful that this webinar is a small attempt towards reaching the unreached sections. It is especially useful for the students who are yet to get a job, and it is going to be very valuable for them in obtaining jobs, and we know that soft skills are very important and special for the interpersonal skills, interpersonal relationships. They are very important for any institution, organization to make a candidate adaptable, to make a candidate acceptable in any organization, in any institution, and also to achieve a successful career. So this webinar is going to be very much helpful. I am very much grateful to the ELTI Khandesh chapter for helping us, supporting us in organizing this webinar. I would like to request our founder, president, and convener of this webinar, Dr. Vaibhav Sabnis sir, to make his inaugural speech. Dr. Sabnis sir.
Thank you, Shinde sir. Honorable Principal Dr. Magre sir, the chairperson of today's program. My dear friend from my native place, Dr. Vitthal Gore sir. Honorable Dr. Asha Arab madam, whom we are very much eager to listen to. My dear friends, Dr. Vijay Sendane, my sister Malini Adhav madam, other friends, Dr. Gosavi sir and others, my students, and most importantly, dear participants, reaching the unreached. That is what Professor Shinde commented in the beginning itself. Taloda is an area which is inhabited by most rural and tribal students, the students belonging to the distant areas, remote areas, and reaching to them is more important. English Language Teachers Association of India, Khandesh chapter, has been working very hard to reach the unreached. What we need is growing together. So we collaborate with different colleges and institutes, and we organize different activities. Our motto is to reach the unreached, and hence our focus is to share our knowledge and to request the persons like Dr. Vitthal Gore sir, who has been very vibrant, very active, online and offline. Dr. Asha Arab, who is a great author. She has written so many books, authored so many books. And when such people from different corners of India, because of this pandemic, because of this online virtual platforms, come together and they share their expertise with us. And when we get an opportunity to listen to them, That is a great pleasure, great opportunity, and really a great thing for all of us. Dear friends, I have visited Taloda. I have seen the college. It's a wonderful college with very wonderful people. From no angle, it appears to be located in a tribal area. But considering the students who belong to the tribal area, it is the duty of all of us, the haves, those who have the expertise, those who have the resources, infrastructure, to give something to them, to do something for them. And out of this interest only, Altai Khandesh chapter organized this program in collaboration, in association with this wonderful college of Taloda. At the outset, I am thankful to the management members, Honorable Principal Magare sir, the coordinator Dr. Professor Shinde, his colleagues, my friend Mukesh Javre sir, R.D. More sir, and others, that they collaborated with Altai Khandesh chapter and gave us an opportunity to reach out to them. The topic that we selected is widening employability prospects with soft skills. Dear friends, we have seen that there are many positives with all of us. We have the marks, we have the mark sheets, sometimes we have the knowledge also. But somewhere we lack in presentation of the knowledge. Somewhere we lack in presenting our expertise, our various skills, and hence mostly we are unemployable. If you look at some reports that have been published recently, you'll find that many engineering graduates are unemployable. They have the degree, they have the marks, they have everything, but they are not employable because besides degree also, there are so many important things that we need to have. And hence today we thought that we should talk about the soft skills. There are many soft skills. The experts, the resource persons are going to talk about that. We have so many hard skills on one hand. Cycling, this and that, swimming, all these are our hard skills. But when it comes to our brain, when it comes to something like inner self, and we often meditate, we often introspect, we try to change our attitude, we try to change our approach. When we do this, no hard skills are required because it is something that goes inside, that works inside. And that whatever is inside, whatever our brain commands, that is really important, considering the output that we get. Because today it is the age of privatization. Most private companies are around. It's very difficult for us to get employment in government sector. And so a person who has more skills, more facets, more dimensions, that person, that candidate, that student is employable, gets job easily, can earn good amount of money so that he or she can live a respectable life in our society. It is the age of information technology. It is the age of cutthroat competition. It doesn't mean that we don't have jobs. We have jobs, but jobs are for those who are multi-talented, who are multitasking, who are multifaceted, who are multidimensional, who have communication skills, who have leadership qualities, who have positive attitude, who have the guts of team building, who are confident, who have presentation skills, whose body language is awesome, who have enough knowledge of English. I don't say that you should be very fluent and very accurate in English. Communicative. They have communicative competence. They possess various skills. They have the capability to build a team. They are good performers in group discussion, etc. And when they set the goals and try to achieve, and we set the goals, Altai, the Taloda College, we set the goals, we try to achieve them, in that we need a team. And when the team works, we march ahead, we grow together. We shine ourselves, we brighten our life, we brighten our career. At the same time, we brighten the career of others, life of others. Then our family, our clan, our college, our society, our community, all become proud of your achievement. So dear friends, not mere marks. Much more than marks is necessary. It's very easy, especially in this pandemic, when virtual platforms are available. Google is God now. It's very easy to get good marks. Distinction is easily available. But does this distinction convert into employability? Does it ensure, confirm that he'll get a job? Then my answer is no, not at all, because there are many other things. There are many other important things, more significant and substantial things that you need, and they are soft skills. And so today we are going to have deliberations, and I'm very happy to receive Dr. Asha Arab Madam from Hubli, Karnataka, trying to make this webinar a national one. And we are very happy that in our national webinars also, many participants join us from even other countries. So if they are there, I welcome them. Those from Algeria, Cambodia, Indonesia, Thailand, Nepal, etc. I welcome them also as the president of LTI. It is the sheer love of Shinde sir and Magre sir that I am convener of this webinar. At the same time, I am the inaugurator. And since everything is virtual, let me inaugurate this webinar by sharing a digital Samai, digital lamp, traditional lamp with you. Please wait for a few seconds. First, I declare that this webinar is inaugurated, and to mark this, I am sharing this digital Samai. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for this marvelous inaugural speech. You have
a second, I am sharing the digital Samai.
Kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhana sampadah Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhana sampadah Shatru buddhi vinashaya Deepajyotir namostute Deepajyotir namostute Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhana sampadah Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhana sampadah.
Thank you, friends. Thank you for giving me this honor to inaugurate this wonderful webinar with the galaxy of intellectuals. I am very happy to see my dear friend Dr. Santosh Kumar Patil sir from Shahda, Dr. Umesh Gangude sir from Nawal Nagar. So, galaxy of intellectuals, the participants. So, I give all the best to you and hope you will have wonderful experience in the next 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for this wonderful inaugural speech. You have opened the subject very brilliantly and explained the aims and objectives of this webinar in a very logical, relevant, and very nice manner. So, thank you for this inaugural speech, sir. Now, I would like to request my colleague, Mr. R.D. More sir, to introduce our first resource person, Dr. Vittal Gore sir. Dr. Vittal Gore sir. More sir. More sir.
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. Okay, sir. Respected our principal, Dr. Magre sir, Honorable Dr. Vaibhav Sabnis sir, our resource person, Honorable Dr. Vittal Gore, Honorable Dr. Asha Arab Madam, and my dear all participants. It's my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Vittal Gore. Dr. Vittal Gore is at present working as a head of the Department of English at Sri Havgi Swami College, Udgir District, Latur. Dr. Gore has completed his MA in English from SRTM University, Nanded. He also achieved his MPhil degree from MK University, Madurai. He is awarded PhD in ELT from Osmania University, Hyderabad. He has successfully completed international certification from ETS, India Limited, and Cambridge University, UK. He is well-recognized PG teacher and research supervisor in English. He was a member of Board of Studies for English in SRTM University in Nanded. He is a subject expert for MHRD-sponsored UGC e-content development program. He has delivered many lectures in UGC HRDC conferences, seminars, and short-term courses. He is also working as an editor for national and international research journals and newsletters. He has also published his number of research papers in national and international journals and magazines. He has worked as a visiting faculty and trainer for foreign students at English Language Training Center, Osmania University, Hyderabad. Today, he is going to enlighten us on skill development for successful career. With this, I stop my introduction. Over to Dr. Shinde, sir.
Now, I would like to request our honorable resource person, Dr. Vittal Gore, sir, to please deliver his
Skill development for successful career.
Valuable speech on skill development, sir. Dr. Vittal Gore, sir.
A very warm good morning to all of you. First of all, I would like to appreciate the efforts put in by CHE Arts, SGP Commerce, and BBJP Science College, Taloda, District Nandurbar, for organizing this event in association with English Language Teachers Association of India, Khandesh chapter, respected chairperson, Honorable Principal Dr. S.R. Magre sir, my friend, the inaugurator and the convener of this event, Dr. Vaibhav Sabnis sir, another panelist on this platform, Dr. Asha Rab madam, and all the dignitaries, those who have joined this virtual event. So I would like to once again congratulate you all to put in your very sincere, hard efforts to make this event a reality. Friends, the topic assigned to me by the organizing committee is skill development for successful career. As Sabnis sir has briefly described, the entire academic scenario in India, and more particularly, he also highlighted that what is the employability market today and how our students are really struggling a lot in order to get a good job. And I think today's event, which is titled as Widening Employability Prospects with Soft Skills, is really going to address the need of the day. The topic actually focuses on the development of certain skills among our students, and definitely by the end of the day, all the students, those who are participated, or else other faculty members, those who have joined this event, will definitely be convinced with the arguments made by right from the inaugurator to both the resource persons. So friends, with this note, I would like to begin with my presentation today. And as I said, I'm going to talk on skill development for successful career. So friends, as you know very well, all the state governments and central government in particular has already introduced several national and state level programs in order to develop soft skills and hard skills, especially among the youth of this country. And definitely, in a very short period of time, you will realize that all these efforts in this direction will definitely fetch certain success, and we will taste the fruits of success as well. So friends, as you know, skill development is actually a process of identification of the gap of various skills among the learners and the youth. As Dr. Subnis sir has rightly said, that there are a number of students, those who are scoring very good marks in their examinations. But unfortunately, many of them fail to acquire the necessary skills which are disparately required in the job market. And when you talk about skill development, I think you need to first identify the kind of lacunas, the kind of shortcomings, the kind of gap which is created in the course of time. And unless you really make this proper identification of the gap, you will never be able to address what exactly you need to improve in your life. So the process of skill development actually aims to improve and acknowledge the ability of an individual to help in achieving goals. As you know, we become the part of this educational system, formal educational system, in order to get a degree or two. But the purpose of education is not to really award you the degrees, but to make you capable enough to stand on your own. Either you join the system as an employee, or else you be yourself as an employer. Whatever role that you perform, without having certain skills that you develop in the course of time during your academic association with an institution, you will not be able to really achieve the goals of your life. And I hope you know, we have the short-term goals in order to achieve the long-term goals. And here, when you talk about education and skills, I would like to say these are the two sides of a single coin. If one side is damaged, it won't work as a currency in the market. And if at all, you really want to improve yourself, or else enhance your standard, or else stand on your own, your education and certain skills that you acquire should have a proper balance so that you will be able to really reap the benefits of it. Once you develop your skills, you will definitely have increased business profits, if at all you are an entrepreneur or a businessman. Or else you are working as an employee, you will definitely improve your performance, you will improve your accuracy and quality of work, and moreover, your communication, your recruitment process, your career opportunities, you yourself, either as an employer or as an employee, will stand in such a way that the people around will definitely appreciate and admire. And the reason is very obvious. Because you have certain, tools that work really for your successful career. So this skill development actually work as a tool to empower people, to empower our students, to empower the youth of this country. It is a tool for the overall development in order to safeguard the career, in order to safeguard your future. And as I have already pointed out, that whatever role that you want to play while making your career, you will have only two options. One, to be an employee and wait for the first of every month to get your salary credited to your account, or else to be an employer and offer multiple job opportunities under your aegis to the other people. But whatever role that you play, either as an employer or as an employee, this skill development actually plays the crucial role as a tool for the overall development in order to safeguard the career and future of an individual. It is actually an aspect that enhances employability in this globalized world. Friends, as you know, liberalization, globalization, and privatization is the mantra of this century. And if you want to live your life with a lot of respect for yourself, you have to improvise and enhance your ability, your competence, your caliber. And unless you do that, you will not be able to be in such a position where you will be in demand. So friends, skills are equally important, as I said earlier also, as one's academic position. Only to have the tremendous academic knowledge with no skills, or else only to have only the skills and no knowledge, I think it will be a kind of imbalanced situation or a position that you create. So you have to give equal weightage and importance to your academic growth as well as your skill development. And that's why we generally say education and skill development should now go hand in hand. Friends, now I proceed with the core of my presentation. As this event mainly focuses on employability, it mainly focuses on soft skills. And now I would like to discuss a few more important aspects related to the domain called soft skills development. What do you mean by soft skills? Already, Subnis sir has pointed out there are a few hard skills and soft skills that we acquire in the course of our life. But today, I'm not going to talk on hard skills. My focus will be soft skills in particular. So if you take it in the theoretical point of view, in the conceptual point of view, and this definition you will find in any, dictionary or a book. So Professor Alex said, soft skills is a term which refers to personality traits, social graces, personal habits, language proficiency, your amicability and friendliness, and optimism that mark people to varying degrees. See how holistically this definition is going to talk about soft skills. And before I proceed, I would like to make it very clear that no one can develop soft skills in any person or any personality unless and until the individual wants to acquire or learn the skills. No one can really train him for certain skills. The reason is very obvious. Every person has his own peculiar personality traits. My personality traits are different than your personality traits. Some or the other time we may find some similarities, but some or the other, personality traits are very much identified and they are exclusively belonging to an individual. Similarly, you have your own lifestyle that you maintain in the social and professional point of view. You create your own aura of your personality that leads to the social graces. You have your own personal habits, your own communicative proficiency called language proficiency, whether it is mother tongue, national tongue, or international language or global language, as you say. Because these are the integral aspects of soft skills. Beyond that, your amicable and friendly relations with the people. How do you deal with the people? How do you treat the people? What sort of attitude do you have? Whether you are a pessimistic or a nihilistic or an optimistic kind of person. Because these aspects or these dimensions of your personality are the integral aspects of soft skills. So in a nutshell, we can say a skill is an ability to perform an activity in a competent manner. And when we are talking about soft skills, so please remember, all my dear friends, there are more than 60 different soft skills. If at all you go through a very good book on soft skills, you will find that as far as the number is concerned, they are more than 60. Is it really possible to acquire all these 60 skills? My question is, all these many skills are really required for an individual? No. Depending on your area of work, depending on your profession, depending on your own choice, you need to you need to bring it down to a limited number, and that you can identify that these are the skills which are necessary for me in order to make my career, in order to make my profession a real success. So here, first of all, you need to identify the skill gap that you have already done from your end at very personal level. Then you tap each of the skill required to you and try to enhance your ability. Try to improvise the level of your performance in certain activity, and that will really make you a competent person. Actually, there are 3 types of skills. You have the functional skills, which is also called as transferable skills. You have personal traits that you also call attitudes. And then you have the domain-based skills, or in general, you call it knowledge skills. So this segregation will allow you to decide what are the skills which are really required for me independently, so that I can address some of the transferable skills, some of the personal traits, some of the domain knowledge based skills, so that I will prove to be a competent personality in the world. Friends, as I said, there are more than 60 skills you will generally find in a good book on soft skills. But here I tried to make it into two sections. Actually, there is no hard line between the two. A couple of skills from one section can be, added to the another and vice versa. But based on some logic, you can make this division into two, and then you will call it the social skills and negotiation skills. What are the social skills? As you know, we cannot live alone. Since we are the social animals, we cannot live alone. We need the company of the people around. And once you need the people around, it means you need certain social skills. I think the language skills and communication skills, maybe in your mother tongue, national tongue, or global language, whatever language that you use as a medium of communication, see that it is the integral part of social skills. Similarly, you are dealing with the people, called interpersonal skills. Personal skills, interpersonal skills. Attitude will be personal. But the way you deal with the people, the way you talk to the people, the way you move into the workplace or in the society or elsewhere, everything is counted. You're dealing with the people around. Whether it is whether it is your home or your professional place, or else you are there in the society, or else in the market, wherever you are, your interpersonal skills will be tested. Etiquettes, manners, your motivational skills, ethics and values, your attitude, your problem-solving skills, your sense of creativity and innovativeness. All these skills are generally categorized into the social skills. Generally a person can influence upon you based on his own attire, maintenance, the sense of combing, the sense of dressing, so on and so on. But once you go to the person a little nearer or closer, you will find that the etiquettes and manners are going to influence you. So an individual's etiquettes and manners are quite crucial, and that's why they are also treated as the important social skills. You have your motivational skills and ethics and values. See, every individual must have or should have his own personal domain in which one should really maintain ethics and values, your personal ethics, your personal values. If at all you are an employee, your professional ethics and professional values. And see that you nurture these ethics and values. There are a few people, those who keep on talking about ethics and values. But if you minutely observe, you will realize that they don't really follow these values. So mind it well, we should not be like that. What you say and what you do, if these two things are similar, automatically the people will start respecting you. Because you have your own ethics, your own set of standards, your own values, and you mean the values, you respect the values, and you adhere the values in your personal life. Similarly, you have positive attitude, problem solving, and creativity. Friends, attitude is the most important asset of your personality. And that too, you should have positive attitude. Once you have a positive attitude, you are dealing with the people, you are dealing with the work, you are concerned with the society, will automatically create your aura in a positive way. And then, problem is the integral part of our life. We do have, personal problems, family problems, our professional problems, our social problems. We have national problems to address also. So without problems, you cannot imagine the life of an individual. But unless you have a very pragmatic, practical approach to solve the problems, you will not be a composed personality. There are a few people, those who kept on thinking about the problem. But there are a few people, those who think about the solution for the problem. Now you categorize yourself, whether you want to dig up the problem or else you want to offer a solution to the problem. And your approach, your attitude, your dealing with this thing with a very creative way will decide how systematic, how composed, how skilled you are. Now I switch over to the another side of this slide. That is section 2. Negotiation skills. In the professional point of view, those who are the working professionals now, attending this virtual event, these negotiation skills, or I would also call it the professional skills, are also disparately required. I really appreciate the organizers, right on the hand of clock, sharp at 10, they began with the proceedings of the day. That is time management. Unless you respect your time available, you will not be able to manage your time. Actually, there is nothing like time management. You have 24 hours a day, that's all. How can you manage the time? I look at this in a different perspective. There is nothing like time management. It is like the management of an individual. If you manage your available time, can you increase the number of hours in a day? No. Then how can you manage time? There is nothing called time management. It is the management of an individual to do certain things within the brackets of the available time. So you have to have your timings for sleeping, your timings for your exercise, your timings for getting involved with the people and social activities, your timing for your own commitment in the workplace. Everything. If you manage everything and do the things right on time, probably you will never face the problem called shortage of time. There are so many people, those who claim that they are busy. Actually, they have no work to do. Still, they are busy. There are some people, those who are really busy in work, and they have time because they do manage their time and do the task within the limited frame of time, and that's why they are successful. So you want to pretend to be busy, or you are really busy, your time management indicates. Similarly, you have stress management, emotional intelligence, decision making, critical thinking, your sense of accountability, your teamwork, your flexibility. All these are the negotiation skills, because at your workplace and even sometimes in your personal life, you have to have these skills inbuilt in your personality. But my point is, when I'm talking about around 16 different skills that I highlighted on your screen now, or displayed on your screen now, actually this is not the limit. You have many more skills that you can adopt, you can acquire, you can train yourself for certain skills. But when you look at soft skills in general, what I personally feel, these are the skills that every individual must have. So you cannot really compromise with any of these skills that I flashed on your screen, whether it is even critical thinking or the sense of accountability as an individual, or whenever you work, you are expected to work in a team. The days are gone that you are sitting in a highly sophisticated air conditioner cabin and controlling all affairs isolatedly from your cabin. You are not expected to do so today. Unless you are really social with your team or with your colleagues, nobody will come forward to help you out in dire need. So these are the skills, like, social skills or negotiation skills, and sometimes I, call them professional skills that you have to really develop. And unless you develop them, mind it well, you will not be able to create your impression as an organized person. Since this event is all about empowering employability and soft skills, now I would like to let you know what is the role of soft skills in one's life. See, soft skills, whatever soft skills that you develop, that you hone, that you acquire, that you train yourself, okay, it is your own choice depending on your own requirement. But soft skills enable an individual to put forward his ideas, thoughts, and notions effectively. See, this particular point will let you know about an individual's language ability, an individual's language proficiency. It may be your proficiency in the mother tongue, or a national tongue, or an adopted language. Any number of languages that you learn, that you adopt. Once you adopt, and once you try to exercise it or use it for communication purpose, you should be able to put forward your ideas, thoughts, notions, observations, experiences, your knowledge, so on and so on, very effectively, so that the people will really admire you as an individual with language proficiency. See, another role played by soft skills. Soft skills imbibe relationship building and human resource management skills. Already I talked about some of the professional skills called negotiation skills and social skills. It has a relevance over here. How do you, really treat the people around? The people within your family, the people in the society, the people at your workplace. How do you really handle them? How do you really treat them? How do you really develop your relationship with them? But mind it well, personal relationship and professional relationship, never confuse these two relationships. You need to put them, separated properly. So as far as soft skills are concerned, if at all you acquire some of the soft skills, you will realize that it is making you capable enough to imbibe relationship building and human resource management skills while working at a workplace or even managing resources at your home. In addition, soft skills encourage creativity, innovativeness, and result-oriented action among the learners or the students. Already I talked about it, creativity and innovativeness. You ask yourself how creative you are, how innovative you are, whether you really put forward your performance that proves to be the result-oriented one. Everybody works, no doubt. We do perform our responsibilities, right? We carry certain responsibilities on our shoulder. We do perform. But how creatively, how innovatively, how dedicatedly you are performing and making your performance as a result-oriented one, if at all you are skilled one, or else you have certain soft skills imbibed in your personality, I can assure you that your performance will always be result-oriented. Similarly, you have soft skills that enrich the feeling that intellectual and practical growth of an employee is equal to the growth of the organization. Mind it well, this point I am trying to address to the employees, those who are right now working for some or the other organization. Most of the people are really, very much worried about their own independent personal growth. Okay, of course, your growth is also equal to the growth of the organization. When I say I'm improving, I'm developing, I'm really enhancing my standard, it is also contributing to the enhancement of the standard of my institution. So the growth of the organization is equal to the growth of the employee and vice versa. So please do not separate yourself from the growth of the institution or the organization. So this sense of feeling will be created only when you are trained, you are skilled as far as the soft skills are concerned, or the selected soft skills you really imbibe in your personality. Similarly, there are certain soft skills that enable an individual to be flexible in his approach and can change his or her own attitude and approach towards work and organization. Mind it well. In the era of LPG, that is liberalization, privatization, and globalization, the flexibility of an individual is considered to be the asset of an individual. Now you question yourself, how much flexible you are. How can you really get accustomed to the new environment? How do you get adjusted with the people around? And whether your working style changes, depending on the demands of the situation right now at the present time. So all these things will definitely contribute to the development of an individual in the skill point of view. Similarly, you have the soft skills that really make the learner open-minded and ready to welcome any change positive. See, already I told you, soft skills will imbibe the positivity in your personality. But this positivity is possible only when you are at a learning stage. You may be growing day after day, no doubt. But we are a learner, or everybody is a learner at every point of time in our life. And you need to be open-minded also. Probably you might have heard about the people like those who are closed-minded and the people, those who are open-minded. And we do admire the people, those who are open-minded. Closed-minded people have their own prejudice, have their own fixed ideas. They neither explain nor accept. So this sort of people are also there. But we are not expected to be closed-minded. We are expected to be open-minded, open to learn the new things, open to acquire the new things, open to train ourselves for certain skills. So once you are open-minded, without any grudge and negativity, you will listen to the people around, so that the idea, knowledge, skill that you receive from others will be openly accepted by you as an individual. Similarly, you have soft skills that really contribute to the building of an individual, and that will make the individual capable enough to handle the ever-increasing expectations of the employer and immediate superior. Those who are working into the private sector, I think they are, more knowledgeable and experienced about it. But what I personally feel, even as an employee, that your soft skills, your preparation for soft skills will make you enable as an individual professional to handle the ever-increasing expectations of the employer. Your boss will never be satisfied with you because he wants something more, whatever you have done so far. So that you call increasing expectations of the employer and your immediate superior. And every day is a testing time for you. Every day is a litmus test for you. You have to prove, and if you are a skilled one, automatically you will adopt and accept all these affairs of your professional life positively, and you will always be ready to meet to the expectations of your employer and your immediate superior. Similarly, soft skills encourage learners to adopt ethical ways with a long-term goal and create vote of trust for the organization. I am really, very fond of the people, those who are highly committed and dedicated for the institution, for their workplace, because they have their own ethical values. They are absorbed into one particular system, and they have a short-term goal, long-term goal. In order to achieve these short-term and long-term goals, the person creates a vote of trust for the institution, and it also happens from the other end, vice versa, and automatically that bond between the two really make the individual as a dedicated and committed employee. And that is all possible only when you are skilled. Unless you have the soft skills imbibed in your personality, you will not be able to do so. And finally, I would like to say one more thing in this respect, that is, soft skills improve the level of involvement, level of dedication, level of commitment of the employees, if at all you are an employee. If you are an employer, automatically your involvement in your own enterprise or business will automatically enhance, and that will be, of course, a good move from your end for the growth of the institution, for the growth of the organization, for the growth of your own business. So finally, I would like to say that these are the roles, very crucial roles, which are played by soft skills in one's individual life, whether you are a student or an employee or else an employer as well. Soft skills are necessary. But I have a different opinion in this respect. Of course, I do agree that today we are talking about the soft skills. But my dear friends, we are living in the 21st century skills. Just to acquire or train yourself for certain soft skills, do you think that you will be able to address to the demands of the day? Now we are in 2021. 2 decades of the 21st century already completed. The employability market is radically changed. The expectations of the corporate world is also changed. Every organization is putting, another step in the direction to upgrade itself. And when these things are happening around you, mind it well, unless you acquire the 21st century skills in addition to certain soft skills, you will not be able to sustain yourself in this job market. Now, first of all, try to understand, what do you mean by 21st century skills? The term 21st century skills actually refers to a broad set of skills, knowledge, work habits, and character traits which are believed to be critically important to succeed in the 21st century. Already I told. If you really want to be successful in this third decade of the 21st century, you have to have some of the 21st century skills properly imbibed in your personality. What are these skills? Very quickly, I will run through. You have to acquire the problem solving skill. Already I discussed earlier also, but situational problems are there while working. Okay, one simple formula or one-time solution will not be a solution for all problems. So you have to develop your situational problem solving skill, project-based work, research assignments, your critical thinking, contextualized learning, computer technology, the knowledge of computer technology, the ability to use computer effectively for all types of work that we do, the use of communication technology, the use of information technology. See, these are the skills which are called the 21st century skills. And whatever role of soft skills that I discussed in the last 15 to 20 minutes or so, please remember, all my dear friends, that you have to acquire some of these 21st century skills, and you need to train yourself depending on the present demands. Then only you will be a composed personality. Now you see here, the 21st century certainly demands something extraordinary from you. And whatever job market that you see around you, it also has different demands from the, employees, those who are going to join them in future, the prospective employees, we can say. So this present employability market has its own features. And unless you have the ability to work and act independently, you will not be able to sustain that. You have to have the ability to learn new skills also. Okay, you have developed certain skills, but at your workplace, maybe some more new skills are required. You should be open-minded to learn it. You have to have the ability to acquire information. As you know, information is power today in this 21st century. The countries that have information or else have command over the global information, they are ruling the world now. So you have to acquire, or you have to have the ability to acquire information. Similarly, ability to understand people around, ability to solve problems which are created situationally, ability to collaborate with the colleagues and people around, ability to maintain interpersonal and cross-cultural communication. These have become the necessities of the day. If you are working for a multinational corporation and now you are dealing with some foreign client or a customer, unless you have the knowledge of cross-cultural communication, you will not be able to maintain the good relationship or interpersonal relationship over there. Some of the things are there, some of the symbols are there carrying different meaning in India, a very contradictory meaning in some part of the world. So unless you have the knowledge of cross-cultural communication, you will not be able to really handle the people all over the world. So this aspect you need to remember while developing your skills. And before I conclude, I would just quickly run through some of the features of the 21st century jobs. Because here, so you have some of the features of the 21st century jobs. So collaboration and teamwork, autonomy and responsibility, less supervision and hierarchy, more personal risk and responsibility, and pressure techniques to improve your performance. These are the some of the features of the 21st century jobs. If you compare the 20th century jobs with the 21st century jobs, you will find that these are some of the highlighted features of the 21st century jobs. And finally, I request all the participants, irrespective whether they are the students or the professionals or the working professionals, you have to gear up yourself in order to be a successful professional in life. So you have to have leadership, positive attitude, time management skill, stress management skill, ethics and manners, effective communication, cross-cultural awareness, commitment and dedication, teamwork and collaboration, critical thinking and problem solving, professionalism and strong work ethics, and finally, oral and written communication skills. If at all you want to be a successful professional, if at all you want to get a very good job in the hierarchy, then you have to have these many skills imbibed in your personality. Unless you gear up yourself for these skills, you will never be a successful professional or an employee or an employer as well. I am really thankful to the organization for giving me this opportunity to share my views on this particular topic. Thank you very much.